Well, hello there again, friends. Today is 1/27/2023, and I am officially done today and have completed the Zero to Mastery Web Developer 2023 course. And so this video, as you can see in the description and the thumbnail, is a wrap-up and a overview of that, and then along with where do we go from here, kind of a question I'll leave an answer at the end of the video. And this video is not meant to be really technical. It's more of an overview video. So here's my GitHub account. What I mean by that is I'm not going to show you the code necessarily for the front end or the back end. You can find those on my GitHub page if you want to go take a look at them. SmartBrain front end. There's a SmartBrain API backend server, and then obviously there's a database attached to that as well. This is the capstone project, if you will, the final project you work on in the program. It's a full stack perm, as I would call it. Perm, not mern. Perm, because, excuse me, I got Tourette's there. Because the front end uses Postgres, or the back end, excuse me, uses PostgreSQL instead of MongoDB, which makes it mern. So PostgreSQL with Express and React on the front, and Express and Node on the back. So if you put those together, that's Pern. Anyway, I'll quit being dumb. So anyway, here's the code if you want to check it out. They're out there. Here's the live site in action, and I will show you how it works real quick. So I've got, if you see, I'm going to start typing here. I've got form validation in here, and through the course, so that I didn't fall into tutorial hell, I purposefully installed packages and did things a little bit differently, and chose, when they said to use package A, I'd go out and find package B and make it work, because I wanted to make sure that I was practicing my skills and my troubleshooting skills and my documentation skills, and figuring things out on my own and using a little bit of my own code. Now, don't get me wrong, I did code along with them as well for a lot of it, but not everything. And this is one of them. There was no validation done on the front end, just on the back end. So I wanted to add a lot more validation for not only user UI convenience, but also for security purposes. So I went out and I actually asked ChatGPT to give me a recommended package that could be used for front-end and back-end validation, form validation. So it gave me this validator.js, which is what is the package I'm using. And it's, like I said, it's cool because you can use it on the front end and the back end. So yeah, so that's that, and that's me using that there. So I've got the code installed and working for that. And so if you do a valid account, if I could type, so password cannot be blank. You see there. So there is some validation going on here. Password cannot be blank on that, and then that's basically it. I can't do, obviously you can't do really form validation on a password, because when you're signing in, because other than blank, because you don't know what the back end and the front end don't really know who the user is or what their password is coming in, so you can't really validate much past that. For register, though, however, is different. So we can force the user to do certain things, and I have validation running on this as well. So you see there, field name must contain at least 3 characters. So name field 3 for like Ted or whatever. So if you enter only 2, it will tell you, and if you click register, form cannot be blank, because the rest of the fields are blank, so it won't even let you submit it. So we're giving good user feedback to let them know, and is screen reader applicable for people that are blind, and also for security reasons, we're not passing junk to the back end. So and then email is the same way. It's looking for a valid email address, which would contain a @ symbol and a dot and a CO or AI or something like that. That would complete a email address. And password, it can't be blank, which is not coming up with that right now, but it can't be blank, because if I enter register, it'll tell me form cannot be blank. And then also we get a password not complex enough. So there's even gives you the requirements, so the user isn't guessing, because I always hate that when you're using an application and there's a password complexity requirement, but they don't always tell you what it is. So it's the typical minimum 8 length, 1 lower, 1 upper, 1 number, 1 symbol. So that will get the account registered. I've already got one I've created, so I'm not going to create this one, but if you satisfied that and clicked register, it would go through the API server and then hit Express, and then Express would contact the backend via Connects.js, which is the SQL query builder that will hit the PostgreSQL on the back end to create that account and add it to the appropriate tables. And then for the password itself, while we're on the topic, I'm using bcrypt.js, which is a popular package that's used to salt and hash passwords for the backend. Again, this is another package that was not used by Andre at Zero to Mastery. They are using a version of this, but it's not this particular package. So I went out and purposely did this so I could have different code to work with and have to figure it out. I did actually spend quite a bit of time on this to figure it out, but I'm glad I did. Had a good learning experience with that. So anyway, so that's that. So if I sign in here, show you what it does. So it's grabbing my name, which is grabbing it from the backend. So it's going back to the backend server, and then the server is running a query to the database, to the users table to get my name and my my count. The count is the number of face detections that have been submitted. So I've submitted 6 so far, and this you put the URL of the face that you want to detect in the picture here. So if we just give a smiling Tom Hanks, well, kind of smiling, looks angry actually. We put that in here and hit detect. You see my count goes up by 1. It's live, so it's accessing the database, and then React's just re-rendering the new count to the screen. And also you'll see this blue box around his face. So what's going on here is the backend, my backend server, my node server with Express on it has an API call that goes outbound to this company called Clarifai, C-L-A-R-I-F-A-I. And what they do is do a lot of cool AI stuff with imaging. And so the particular endpoint I'm using and that I've set up is and through the project is face detection. So all it's doing is detecting a face through the whatever algorithm and AI that it's using, and then it's sending back the coordinates. And so all I do is I take the coordinates, and it's basically in a JSON format, and I send it to the front end here, and React will display it out as a box, a blue border box. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's the easy way of describing it. There are more things you can do with Clarifai. Actually, you can with this endpoint, you can do like excuse me, like percentage detection, like percentage male, percentage female, and it will actually display and report out in JSON format the percent of like male, female. There's like 20 some categories. I can't remember them all. But a future feature I might incorporate in this is actually putting that on the screen as well. Currently, I don't have that. That would have been a lot more to build out than what I was wanting to chew on for the moment in the project, because I did want to kind of finish it and take a break for a bit. So that might be a future feature. And then there's a sign out button up here. That's another route, React route, and you just hit sign out. So these are all routes in React. Not router, just route. There's a difference if you guys have been getting versed on React. I'm not using router. I'm just using basically routes via method calls. So these do different things. Again, you can check out my code on my GitHub account if you want to see that how those routes are set up. And that's about it. I am using this service here. Render is the again, Andre and Zero to Mastery used Heroku, and I use Render. Mainly because Heroku doesn't have a free plan. and I didn't want to pay for this, at least not for this this simple full stack app here. So I use Render because they do have a basic free plan. It's really slow though, I'll tell you that. So if you use them, it's fine. Just know that it's slow. The back end talks to the front end pretty slow. I mean, you seen kind of how long it took to sign in. It would be even slower if I registered. I won't do it here, but yeah, it's just a little slow. It's good. So Render has my front end, my back end, so that it's hosting the React app, is hosting the Node.js Express server, and it's also hosting my Postgres SQL server as well. So it's all in one place. So it would even be worse. It would even be slower if I had, say, my React front end, say I had that on GitHub or whatever, GitHub pages. It would have to reach out all the way across the internet to get there. So it would even be slower. So I decided to put it all in one place. So yeah, so Render has that product. So the React front end is a static service. The PostgreSQL obviously is a SQL service, and the Node.js Express backend server is a web service. So that's how that's configured. And so yeah, so now I'm getting towards the end of the video here, and where do I go from here? I know a lot of you probably want me to go back to top and continue on where I left off. I very well could do that, and that is in the back of my head a little bit, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous with a lot of the layoffs and everything that are going on right now in tech. But I say that because I'm getting ready to say that I'm thinking about applying after I do a few things. So I think what I might do is before I apply, is I might use this as a project. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to use this as a full stack project. I actually have some ideas of my own. I might write a brand new full stack app and take my time with it and do my own thing. Maybe use some of these components that I learned and methods that I learned in the class to create my own thing that I would feel a lot better about, especially speaking to a potential employer. Just so it's unique. I won't share it right now, and I'm not sure if I will share it online, but I have a list that I'm creating of personal projects that I want to work on that are that I believe are showcase my best skills in our portfolio appropriate, should we say. So I'm kind of thinking I might start doing that. Maybe create a front end one that's focused just on front end, no back end, and then do one that's full stack that's like this, that has a a back end server and a database. But we'll see. Top's kind of like out there a little ways. But again, if I feel like I don't want to find a job at this point in time and I want to wait a little bit, maybe I'll continue with Top, because I know some of you really like that style format and wanted me to continue with that. But nevertheless, I do feel like I need to do some of my own projects, not only to cement in more concepts, but to also feel more confident. So that's kind of where I'm thinking of going, is just kind of start working on some side things. So if you don't see a video from me for a little while, that's probably why. I probably will show you the project like this maybe if I get, create my own project when it's done, or maybe as I'm working through it, I might share my results with you. But maybe not. Yeah, I might do that. We'll see. Just talking out loud here. Anyway, I won't make this video any longer. I will link in the description below and in the first pinned comment of the video, the affiliate link I have for Zero to Mastery if you'd like to get started and go through what I just went through and learn this stuff yourself. It's great. I'm not saying it's the end all be all. It's not, and you kind of get what you make out of it. So like I said earlier, I kind of used my own packages at times and did my own thing on top of their stuff to make sure that I further understood the concepts. But that was my choice to help make sure I wasn't just watching a video and falling into tutorial hell. So anyway, I'll leave the description in there, and I'll probably put the description, or I'll probably leave the link in the description, for my affiliate link, and I'll also probably put a link to my GitHub page in case you guys don't already have it, so you can access this code and take a look at it yourself. So, yep, I love you guys. Thanks for being patient with me, and thanks for enduring this long video for anyone that's still watching and listening here at 15-minute mark. So, I will stop it here, and so until next time, see ya.